Well, good morning and welcome to the weekly update. It's Saturday, May 16th, 2020, and we're very excited because it's the day before the church is going to open up again.
We're going to have some real live people in church. I can't tell you how good that's going to be.
It's going to be nice to see you all again. And before we go there, I just want to give a shout out again. Thank you to all of our nurses and doctors who continue to remain steadfast in the midst of all of these all the work that they're needing to do with the pandemic going on. It continues, obviously, but thankfully things are beginning to change. I also want to give a shout out to all our hair people out there. As you can tell, mine's a little shorter and a lot more comfortable.
Thanks be to God for that. You were starting to look a little bit like a hippie anyway.
Well, I was looking that way. But anyway, I guess we said goodbye to the mullet, the COVID mullet's gone. So anyway, let's talk about Sunday just a little bit more. Pastor, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Well, just a reminder that on this coming Sunday, tomorrow, we'll have the doors will be open. Mm-hmm. We want to encourage you to come if you feel comfortable with that. We're encouraging people to wear masks. We're not requiring it. So if you don't wear a mask, then the biggest thing is, I think, is to maintain that social distancing. We will have some of the pews taped off so we can try to keep people spaced. And we will sanitize the pews and everything between the services too, so 10:30 people don't have to worry that somehow the 8 o'clock people will infect them. So we're going to do our best to make sure that everything is safe and as it should be.
Watch out for those early people. Anyway, we'll also have communion on Sunday, as you know, and we're going to do our best to mitigate that as well. We'll have spacing on the floors. We'll also be handing you the communion and, of course, spacing out the cups on the rail.
Pastor and I will make sure that we sanitize before, and if we touch anything, we'll take time to sanitize again. So we'll be careful.
Yeah.
I just want to say about communion too. Yeah. We will have communion in both 8 and 10:30.
There you go.
All 3 of these Sundays in May. So next Sunday and the Sunday after as well. So I think we've missed that a lot. I have. So.
Yes, definitely. So we're going to do our best to make this a safe start. Obviously, it's a somewhat limited thing. And if you show up early, we might designate you as a door opener. So if you're that person, you might be the one holding the door for everybody. So we'd appreciate that too. So anyway, we've got those.
Didn't you say that person was going to be the test one, that we're going to have everybody breathe on that person as they come in the door? And
something like that. Yeah. Maybe.
No. Just being foolish.
That's a joke. Okay. So tell us a little more about that. We got it all covered?
I think so. Mostly it's just maintaining your social distancing and no fist bumping or elbow rubbing and that kind of stuff. So, but we look forward to having it. And obviously, if you're not comfortable coming yet,
thank you.
If you are over a certain age, especially if you have any underlying things, well, then you want to use your best judgment on those things. We will be online into perpetuity now, and so if you want to wait a couple of more weeks before you actually come through the door, we'll understand, and that's fine. We're just going to get started for the people that are the least affected by it, and we'll work our way back into it from there. So,
and along those lines, there will still be some equipment set up in the aisles, so we'll have to be a little careful about that and watch for that. And again, we might designate someone to police that so that we don't knock one of those over. But it's still going to be there on Sunday. We'd hope to have had it up by that point, but it's just not going to happen. Schedules being what they are for Ryan and for those working on that project. So, okay. On another front, I'd also want to remind you that this year we will not be having any kind of vacation Bible school. It's simply not in the cards this year. As we mentioned last year, and I'm sure you guessed by now, this is our last week, but I'm sure you guessed by now that that's going to be the case. Things are still very volatile, and the variables are too many, and it's just not going to happen. So.
We'll remind you that next Sunday, the 24th, will be confessional Sunday for our 10 confirmands in the junior class this year. 5 of them will be in early and 5 in late, and that'll be online as well. And then the following Sunday, the 31st, in the late service, they'll be confirmed. And so we want to keep those 10 young people in their prayers as well. Anything else? Food pantry can continue to bring things up here, and we're in good shape in the food pantry right now, but we'll be putting out food again next week to families in need, and so anything you bring will be well put to use.
Oh yeah, it's been a great thing you guys have been helping with
Yep.
there. So I think that's it, isn't it, for today?
I think so.
Okay.
It'll be good to see real live people tomorrow.
Yeah.
So God be with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you either tomorrow or when next we get that opportunity, and God keep you in his hand until then. Bye-bye.
Take care. Blessings.